Module 3, Core Solutions. Okay, module outline. In Module 3, you will learn the following concept. Core Azure solutions, which entails Internet of Things to Azure Sphere. Synapse Analytics to Databricks, artificial intelligence and machine language or machine learning. No? So konti lang naman yung topic na yan. As another one is Azure Management Tools. How do you manage the Azure resources? So one way is by going to the portal. You can connect using PowerShell and Cloud CLI, no? Ito yung Bash Shell or Cloud CLI. And you can be able to monitor using Advisor, Monitoring Service, and Health Service. So Azure Solutions, so we're going to discuss ito ngayon. IoT Hub, Synapse, ML, and serverless computing using function. First, Azure Internet of Things, IoT. IoT is the ability for device to garner and then relay info for data analysis. Okay, so dito, okay, so we have IoT, three topics in IoT. First one is Azure IoT Central. IoT Central is a fully managed global IoT software as a service solution that makes it easy to connect, monitor, and manage IoT assets. So if you have program, let's say Alexa or some IoT things, appliances nyo sa bahay, you can manage using Azure IoT Central. Okay? You can manage yung mga yung Arduino, no? Let's say you're creating a robot project, you can manage dito rin. No? Azure IoT Hub is a managed service hosted in the cloud that acts as a central message hub for bidirectional communication between IoT device and application. So if you want to send a message from one IoT device, you can do so using IoT Hub. So puntahan na nga natin itong IoT Hub na to. Just type IoT Hub. Yan. So this is the hub. If you want to create a hub, just click the plus sign. Okay, using the same resource group. Let's say Alexa skills, one, and which region, publicly available. And how many messages you want to send within the day. No? So let's say 400,000 messages. Dami na, no? So that will cost you $25 only per month. Okay. So this is for tier 1. What does tier 1 do? It will send a device to cloud messages. Okay. So threat protection to IoT Hub. Send telemetry from your device to your solution backend. Now, let's say you want to send an application program interface. So mag-send ng, you want to find out how many HTTP requests sent to your server. No? So malalaman mo. So dito, you can receive 400,000 a month, pero babayaran mo lang $25 lang. Okay? If you want to scale, no? So may scale out, I need more than 400,000 message. No? Kasi konti lang yung 400,000 message. Yan. As you scale out, the price is also increasing. Okay. Tumataas din. Okay. So that's IoT Hub. Sa exam, walang hands-on to. No? So ang lalabas lang dito, what is Azure IoT Hub? IoT Hub is managed service hosted in Azure to act as a central messaging hub for bidirectional communication. So between the IoT device and your messaging services. No? Next one is Azure Sphere. Sphere is a secured high-level app platform with built-in communication and security features for internet-connected device. So yung mga, let's say meron kayong robobot, yung robot vacuum. Nakakita, meron na kayo nun for sure. Paano ba itsura nun? Ganito, sa may web ko. Nawala web ko. Yan. Okay. Robovac. Okay, mga vacuum cleaner. Vacuum cleaner. Gusto mong i-program for some reason. So bibilin mo yan, yung device na yan. Then how do you program that one? Diba? Paano mo program yan? Okay, so may API. May API. Kung gusto mo i-use yung full suction, gusto mo i-use what time siya mag-start, what time mag-end. Okay. For sure, meron itong support. Hanapin natin yung support niya. So, yan. It does 3,000 vibration per minute. Yun. So, you can program this one using your cell phone. Probably just go to this site, then download yung app, and then which bedroom you want to clean. Let's say master muna, bago yung bedroom 2, and yung hallway. Okay. So, you can do so. And then, what else can you do with this one? Parang limited lang yung ano niya. So that's Azure Sphere. Azure Sphere can communicate from your application to your devices. So puntahan natin yung Azure Sphere. Azure Sphere. Type nyo lang dito Sphere. Uy, hindi available. Ayun. Keyscaler for Azure Sphere. Okay. Create one. Okay, so which operating system and which flavor dito? Hindi sinabi. And then the Azure user. So how are you going to communicate with the device? Okay. Next, for big data and analytics. So we have Azure Synapse Analytics. Azure Insight and Databricks. So with Azure Synapse, this is a cloud-based enterprise for data warehousing. So when you say data warehousing, you are collecting a huge amount of data. For example, one example or use case is the ano yung ginagamit sa SM? SM Advantage. No? So you have to swipe. Sabihin ng SM sales lady sa cashier, "Sir, meron po kayong SMAC." SM Advantage card. So pa-swipe lang po na SMAC. So pag swipe mo na yan, he's collecting data or he's writing data. Ano yung binili nyo for that day? No, let's say binili mo 5 pansit canton. Okay, tapos 3 Coke. And then ano ba yung common? Masks, 100 masks. No? So that data will be relayed to a central data warehousing database. No? It's pretty much collecting everything. Then at the end of the day, magkakaroon sila ng cycling. Ko-collect nila ano yung pinakamabentang product of the day. No? Sabihin natin mask. Okay? We sold over 1 million masks sa SM supermarket. No? So yung organization can make an intelligent decision na this is the most in-demand product for that day. So hence, they can come up with decision na kailangan natin maraming supply. So order ka pa. Okay? So it's big data. It's a big data, cloud-based enterprise. So if you want to avail that one, so just go to Azure Synapse. So type nyo lang dito Synapse. Ayun na, Synapse Analytics. Create one, and so on. Create a workspace. It's actually a workspace. Next one is Azure HD Insight. Fully managed open source naman to. Analytics service for enterprise. So Azure Insight. Insight. Application Insight. No. Insight. HD Insight pala. HD Insight. Yan, tama yan. Okay. So HD Insight, you can manage your big data in an open source platform. So normally it accept open source frameworks, including Apache, the web server, Hadoop. Hadoop is the third-party software. This is the big data provider, Hadoop. number one big data provider. So Hadoop is a collection of open source utilities which facilitates using a network of many computers to solve problems involving massive data talaga. Okay, so it's a cluster of servers. Ngayon, to compete with the Hadoop, Azure HD Insight is the equivalent ng Microsoft for big data warehousing. Meron namang Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks is Apache Spark-based analytic service. So Databricks, punta lang tayong Databricks. Ano ba itong Databricks na ito? Azure Databricks. Ito na pala. Okay. Ayun, ayun. So Design AI, so it's for big data analytics as well, which optimize Apache Spark. Okay, so tama ba itong Databricks? Okay. So combination of big data and AI naman siya. Okay, you can set up the environment within minutes. It's automatic scaling and collaborate on shared projects. So you can share this one to different organization and can be performed using interactive workspace using the UI. Azure Databricks supports Python. Okay, if the data normally query using Python, so this is the most compatible one. Also compatible sa R language and especially Java and can be accessed using SQL. So meron kayong interface. Ito yung mga interfaces nyo. No? If your organization is more confident and they prefer yung Python, no? Might as well select Databricks. Okay? AI and ML, so artificial intelligence and machine learning. Azure Machine Learning is a cloud-based to develop, train, and deploy machine learning models. Okay? So meron siyang Azure ML. So type natin dito, machine learning. There. So ayun yun, machine learning. So napakadami. No? So this machine learned AI is part of ML. I discover AI, a portfolio of AI services for developers and data scientists. You can take advantage of decades breakthrough research, responsible AI practices, no? Ano yung mga common scenario, anong frameworks sa AI, and flexibility that Azure AI offers to build and deploy your own AI solution. So this is already a platform. So meron silang platform to develop machine learning. No? So AI, cognitive services, platform to develop machine learning, and an infrastructure. So they have this kind of infra which supports your whatever AI you want to develop. No? So advanced large-scale AI infra in innovative training. So access large-scale infra. You can also utilize thousands of state-of-the-art GPUs. No? So if you're doing a GPU intensive application rather than CPU intensive, you have the option to select GPUs. It can enable a hybrid, no, combination of public and your own research and development facility can interface then. No? And you can deploy this one using Kubernetes, yung configuration management. If you want to deploy multiple AI, let's say application, web services, and functions. And you will have an access to a lot of range of AI hardware, like yung FPGA, no, yung mga chips. Another one, the most comprehensive set of GPUs. No? Sabi nila, mas mabilis yung GPU rather than CPU. So that's why sa Bitcoin mining, it's being used on GPU than CPU. No? Kasi mas powerful sila. Another AI and ML is the cognitive services. With cognitive services, you can quickly enable apps to see, hear, speak, understand, and interpret a user's need. Okay, cognitive. So sa examination, pag tinanong ng how do you define cognitive, no? Ito yung something you can see, no? an AI which can hear you talk. Okay, so one example nga si Alexa or si Siri. No, so meron akong Alexa app dito. So tatanungin ko, Alexa, what time is it? So sasagot si Alexa. Ay, hindi nyo narinig. Sandali. Another one is Alexa, open sleep sounds.
Okay, here's sleep sounds. Welcome to Sleep Sounds. I can play many relaxing sound loops, like thunderstorm or rain, or you can ask me for a list. Which sound would you like?
Alexa, stop. So yan, so meron siyang cognitive services na pag sinabi mong Alexa, what time is it?
It's 4:12 p.m.
Alexa, set reminder in 30 minutes. Alexa, set alarm in 30 minutes.
30 minutes, starting now. To
Ayan.
hear this timer, please make sure you've turned off Do Not Disturb and Silent Mode.
So ganun lang, no? So Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. So ganun. So meron siyang cognitive services which she can hear you, no? She can hear you. Kaya sinabi ko she, babae kasi siya. They can speak and she understand. Okay? So Alexa, 1 plus 1.
1 plus 1 is 2.
O, di ba? Talino ni Alexa. Okay? So dito sa Azure, meron din sila niyan. Next one is Azure Bot Service. So bot service, you can develop intelligent application and enterprise-grade bots, no? Such as yung mga, I'm not sure if you have seen the robot designed for military sa US, no? Yung Boston Dynamics, they're the first one. Isang robot lang cost $125,000. Grabe, no? So far, sa examination, our concern is, what do you mean by cognitive service? No? Yeah, something you can see, something you can hear, and someone who can speak and understand. So yan ang sagot, cognitive. Pag bot naman, someone who can develop intelligent application, something you can program the bot to do something. Something like ManyChat or yung Facebook bot. No? You can ask courses. If you click courses, lalabas lahat ng list of courses and so on. So
Sir,
far, yeah. Is it clear?
Sa portal,
AI?
sa
Go ahead.
portal meron din yan.
Portal, yeah. Meron yan, of course. So, lahat ng sinasabi ko nasa portal. So, let's go to cognitive. So, punta kayong cognitive. Type mo lang cognitive. If you want to develop this one, yan. Cognitive. Okay, so you can build anomaly detector. Okay, identify potential problems early on. So, content moderator, Q&A, marker, text analytic, translator. Ito yung translate saranghay in Tagalog, di ba? Ta-translate nila yan. Face API detects and identify people and emotions in images. Let's say you want to authenticate the person using voice as your password. So sa project ko isa, ang password namin voice. Sasabihin namin, my voice is my password. Hindi kami naglalaging using password, hindi ganun. Boses lang. Or API, no? Sa Apple, di ba? May face recognition. So develop kayo ng OS nyo na may face recognition. Kasi bago bumukas yung pinto ninyo sa opisina nyo, no? Tatapat mo lang yung mukha mo, ba? Bubukas na yung pinto. Pero syempre may device yan, physical device. May nakita ko niyan sa may Shaw Boulevard. Nag-o-offer na sila yan. Sa may Summit One Tower. No? Okay, next one is the serverless computing. So dito sa serverless, gagamit tayo ng dalawa lang i-discuss natin. No? Kasi yun lang yung sa exam. So marami pa, hindi lang to. First, serverless computing is the Azure function. And the second one is the logic apps. So Azure function is an event-based code running your service and not the underlying infrastructure. So dito, if someone asks you, let's say DevOps ka, can you please find out how many HTTP requests na hit na tong Cebu Pacific Air natin. No? I want to know, baka umabot na sa 1,000, which means ma-overload na yung server natin. Kailangan ng provision, mano-mano, di ba? Sa on-prem sa data center. So, gusto ko malaman, sendan niyo ako ng gusto ko malaman right now. Okay, mga boss, di ba? So, anong solution doon? So, you don't need to create a server. You don't need a database. You don't need to purchase licenses. Dito, function as a code. We will avail the function. So, babayaran natin sa Azure per function. Okay? In bulk, let's say 100,000 requests, mga ganun. Doon mo lang siya babayaran. Centavos na. Next one, another example of serverless computing is the Azure Logic Apps. Azure Logic Apps can automate and orchestrate tasks, business process, and workflows to integrate apps. Let's say, for example, I want to create 100 virtual machine right away. So dito, you can set up and orchestrate, let's say, type mo lang 100 VM, tapos magde-deploy siya ng 100. Okay? If you select sa availability set, gusto ko sa isang AZ, sa 5 server kagad. So you can orchestrate that one. Okay? So dito, function as code. Dito, logic. Logic as a code. So I'm gonna give you a simple walkthrough on how to create Azure function. So dito, I'm gonna create a function app with a webhook to provide hello message with your name. So I'm gonna create a function and create a HTTP triggered event function and test. So ganito yung scenario or use case. Let's say you are client mo si Cebu Pacific, isa kang DevOps sa company ng digital transformation na nagpo-provide nito. Aside from Cebu Pac, hindi lang Cebu Pac customer mo. Customer mo pa rin yung Philippine Airline, customer mo yung New Zealand Airline, Qantas Airline, American Express, ano pa ba? United Airways. Kumbaga, hosted, you're managing 200 airlines. Na-experience ko yung 200 airline minamanage namin sa Navitaire. Head office niyan is sa Minneapolis. And then may office sa Sydney, Australia. Then programmer namin nasa Manila, dito sa Philam Tower, 23rd floor. So there are about, I think, 23 programmers. So gusto ng customer namin, if you know Navitaire, alam ko lang kung kilala niyo itong Navitaire. Sila yung nag-automate ng online reservation system. Binenta nila to sa lahat, worldwide. Pati Cebu Pac bumili nito. Navitaire. Ba't ayaw? Navitaire. Yan. Navitaire is an e-commerce platform for growing airlines. 1 year ako nag-work dito. So lahat ng airline hawak nila. Frontier Airline, Volaris, AirAsia, Firefly, Air Canada, Scoot, AirAsia. Cebu Pac, di ba? Who's the one managing Cebu Pac? Navitaire. Navitaire yan. Okay, so if you go Cebu Pac, normally nasa baba yung Navitaire pero pinapatanggal nila minsan Ayaw nila malaman kasi yung competitor baka i-avere si Navitaire. Meron pang Navitaire, wala. Tinanggal nila. So, you might be wondering, bakit sir, murang Cebu Pac? Kasi wala na itong opisina. Wala na itong, you don't have to go sa SM Mega Mall para mag-book lang. Online lang, makakapag-book ka na, di ba? Alam niyo naman lahat. So that's why it becomes cheap. Ang nag-offer niyan ito Navitaire. Okay. Ang Navitaire, they also provide ticketing solutions sa mga tram, sa mga train, sa US, mga train. Pagpasok mo, swipe mo lang yung card mo, you can enter. So hindi lang airline to. Pero this is the biggest provider ng online reservation system. Sa dito, nag-training nito sa New Zealand. Binili na nila yung Amadeus yata. Okay, so PRA is the another application sa revenue accounting system. Mga developer to nasa Philippines. Meron din silang Sky Ledger. Sky Ledger, ito naman na yung ang dami nilang applications. Okay? So sa Navitaire, ang bayad dito per customer. Okay, bayad sa amin per customer lang. So we made sure na mag-give namin SLA na 99%. Okay, may naligaw na isa. May nag-join 24. Ba't dumami? Okay, so ito, booking. So piso sale. So 99 pesos lang papuntang Manila. Let's say galing kang Manila, papuntang Davao. Uy, 99 pesos, 99 pesos. So paano ko malalaman kung 1,000 na yung hihit ng web server natin? Not necessarily nagbo-book, pero 1,000 na yung nag-visit ng Cebu Pacific Air. So ito yung gagawin natin. Gagawa tayo ng function up. Ito na, ito na. Sabayan niyo ako. Ano? So this will make sense. So ano yung webhook? Ano yung webhook yung pinagsasabi? Ito yun. So gagawa tayo ng function. Ano ba tawag dito? Azure function. Punta kayo dito sa Azure function. Saan yung web ko? Saan nawawala yung web ko? So, tab sa web browser natin. Yun. So, Azure function, type niya. Sabay-sabay, lahat tayo. Gawin natin to. Okay, just in case na hindi lumalabas dito, just go back home. Click nyo lang to. No? Hanapin nyo yung function niya. Sabi yung function niya. Hindi pa rin makita. Function. Hanapin nyo na dito. No? Pero type nyo lang function. Yan. So, the one with the icon thunder. Okay? Function up. Okay? So, lahat tayo. Click create. Okay? Click create. Okay? Same resource group. Okay? And the function name, sabihin natin function. Function to find out how many HTTP requests. Okay? Function HTTP requests. HTTP request. Okay? HTTP. So that can be accessed using this URL, function http request.azurewebsites.com, .net. Okay? So this is a function as a code. And we're gonna avail code because it's a function as a code. We don't need Docker. You don't need the VM. You don't need the server. Wala na. Serverless nga eh. Okay? So anong runtime apps that we need? Gusto ko .NET. If your application is developed in Java, Node JavaScript. No? If your application is developed in Python, let's say website nyo, kinari sa Python. Kung anong runtime, no? Kung develop sa, pansinin nyo, walang PHP. So, PHP website namin. So, custom handler na yun. Gagawa ka na dito ng custom. No? So, medyo malalim. So, dito lang tayo sa .NET. So, .NET version 3.1 and then region that this function will host is in Central US. Okay, since this one is in .NET, no, by default, sinelect niya Windows. Okay, and then the plan type is a serverless. Okay, we're doing a serverless application, function as a code. Okay, review and create. Ganun lang. So let's wait for the notification that the resource has been created. Lalabas dito. And then re-refresh natin. So sabi, ano ba sabi? Wala na, tapos na. Ito na yan. Ito na yung function natin. Hindi, ito na yung validation pala. Yan, create na natin yung function. So we're deploying the function up. Sabayan niyo ako ha. Sabayan niyo ako. Russell, nakapasok ka na ba, Russell?
Yes, sir.
Nandiyan ka na. Pasok ka na. Pasok ka na.
Opo.
Hindi ko kasi nababasa tong message. Hindi tumutunog. Okay, he's deploying the function. So, sa mga iba, ano ba yung ginagawa nyo, sir? Ito nga, nagkakreate tayo ng Azure function. Ang function natin, we want to find out how many HTTP requests hinihit tong Cebu Pacific. Okay? Kasi may promo sale period from October 4 to 31, and then you can travel na mismo, no? Within this month then, up until next year. Mura no? Baka mamaya nababag down na yung server ng Cebu Pac, no? So we need to find out. So ito na yung ginagawa natin. Okay, your deployment is complete. Go to resource. And this is our function HTTP request. Okay, so we have sitting on the same group. This is the function URL. Okay, operating system is in Windows, pero hindi tayo nagre-rent ng VM. So nakakatipid tayo. Okay? Using the subscription, we can monitor the function, how much memory it uses, how many execution of the function, ilang beses mo in-access tong function ito, and how quick the function is performing. O, diba? Ang galing, ano? From management perspective, we can be able to monitor. Then optional metrics, you can diagnose.
Sir, question, sir.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Sir, ang napapansin ko yung resource group, laging yun pa rin.
Isa lang.
Ibig
Yes.
sabihin, isa lang talaga.
Isa lang. Kasi isa lang naman yung dinedemo ko. No?
Okay.
Isa lang. Pero pwede kayong gumawang maraming resource group. Okay?
Depende sa
requirements
requirements mo.
Yes. So just in case you lost, go back home. Tapos hanapin nyo dito sa Blade yung Azure function. Or dito, ayan. Ayan, function up. Okay, so ito yung function ko. Okay? Dynamic pricing tier, meaning hindi to, if you're not being used, it's not being used, you won't be charged. Okay? Ito, function up. Then we're gonna create a HTTP trigger function. Okay, so this is the Blade. Hanapin natin yung function. Okay, overview. Add. So mag-add tayo. Yeah. Asan yung hinahanap ko eh?
Sir, okay lang mag-asulit ng sir, kapag halimbawa, kailan ba dapat kami pwedeng magawa ulit ng another resource group? Kung
Kailan kayo gumawa ng resource group?
halimbawa
Kung
sa
different
one.
entity.
Yun
Let's
nga
say
po, sir,
may customer kayo. Let's say customer number 2. Well, kailangan
Another
ibang
client.
resource group
Okay.
yun. Oo.
Okay, got it. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sige,
Say
sige.
client number 3.
More on SaaS talaga, sir, no?
Oo,
Okay.
per
Got it.
organization.
Per organization, per client. Okay, sir.
Pwede rin same organization pero different function. Let's say resource group for human resources, 'di ba? Iba yung VNet nila. Another one is resource group for IT naman. Iba yung VNet nila. So hindi magkikitaan yung dalawang 'yan.
Kaso lang magkakaproblema billing nun, sir. Joke lang.
Separate billing din. Separate billing. Dami mong lalaki na billing mo. Good
Para
question.
siyang OU, sir, no?
Parang
siyang
OU, yes. Kung Windows admin ka. Container nga container. Or ang OU kasi by definition is a container, no? Sa container ng Windows group, Linux group, or whatever, no? Okay, so dito na tayo sa function. Meron akong function. Ngayon, anong klaseng function? So ngayon pala ako gagawa. Anong function gusto mo? Create. Okay, click create. Sabay-sabay tayo lahat, ha? Lahat. I'm hoping na kaya nagki-create kayo. So create function. Okay, nakita niyo ito, studio. Being edited.
Sir, sa akin nag-failed yung ano.
Ulitin mo lang,
creation.
ulitin mo lang. Refresh mo lang. Refresh, yan, ganyan lang, ganyan. Okay, so meron na akong function, tapos go to function. Okay. Okay, meron akong error dito. Hindi ko maintindihan. The function has been edited through an external editor. Naka-disable yung function ko. Sandali. Close ko lang lahat. Ay, ang dami. Ang dami palang web. Ayan, nalito na siya. So, open uli ako ng bago. So, if you failed, just create a new one. Okay? Ayan, titingnan ko kung ma-edit ko na to. So, function. Kasi may error kanina dito. Hindi ko ayun, no? Bakit ako may ganito? Kasi hindi ako makaka-create ng function. Hindi lumalabas dito. HTTP for some reason. So, I'm gonna be using my second account. Kasi dalawa yung account ko eh. Ewan ko bakit ayaw niya mag-create. So maglalagin lang ako sa second account ko. Tatago ko muna. Siyempre. Ayan na, this is my second Azure account. For some reason, I'm not sure kung bakit ayaw. So, gagawa uli ako ng function kasi this is a different root account. So, dalawang root account ko yan. So, dito wala na yung resource group kanina. This is a new account, different account. So, gagawa ako ng bagong resource group. Resource group 1. Tama ba? Naku, hindi ayaw accept. So, das last name. Ayan, success. And then a function up name. Sabihin natin count HTTP request. Okay? So, bibilangin niya ilang HTTP. And then .NET ang runtime ko and hosted in Central US. So, gagawa uli ako. No? Plan type is serverless. Uy, meron akong premium. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so wala na akong ginawa sa networking. Enable application insight. Yes. Review and create. Yan. So, validation and creation. Tayo natin. No? Kasi hindi lumalabas yung function na gusto ko.
Sir, question. Sir, kung ginamit ko yung 30 days trial,
That's good.
nag-lapse na.
Labs na. Pay as you go ka na, tal.
Hindi ka
Magbabayad
pwede
ka na.
mag-create ng bago, ibang...
Hindi na.
Ganun. Madidetect nila.
Ako, na-lapse na ako 30 days. Pay as you go na ako. So, nagbabayad na ako per hour na to. Kaya, shutdown natin agad to.
Okay.
Pero ba't naka 30 days? Matagal ka na nag-enroll or?
Hindi. Yung... Wala, sir. Parang
Matagal ka
nag-try
na
lang
nag-create.
ako.
Magbabayad ka na ba? Okay.
Mm.
So careful, baka mag-incur ng expenses. Yan. Sandali lang ha, toilet break lang ako. 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. Am I audible? So let's see. So finish na yung deployment. I'm hoping I'm gonna see the function I want. Okay, so I went inside the function. So if you can see this function, click nyo lang yung function na yan. Tapos mag-add tayo. Yun, lumabas. Kanina wala to eh. So these are the template function you can create. So ano yung mga function na pwede? So when you select HTTP trigger, it's a function that will run whenever it receives HTTP request or responding based on data in the body of or query string. So ito yung gusto kong bilangin yung mga nagba-browse sa atin na pumupunta sa http://cebupacificair.com. Kung lang. Okay? I need to find out sa isang araw ilang beses ina-access yan. Okay? Meron din function na timer triggered function that will be run on specific schedule. Let's say you want to schedule this one, no? So meron tong format na then magko-collect siya ng data within that period. Let's say from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. how many person made the reservation. Okay, mga ganun. Next is Azure Queue Storage Trigger. Dito naman, let's say you wanna find out pag na-reach mo na yung 10 terabyte of data. No, magsisend na to ng message. Okay? And so on. Napakadami. Grabe. Hindi na natin ma-discuss lahat yan. At up to PsyOps na yan. So ito lang tayo, HTTP. Kasing requirements lang is, I wanna know how many HTTP requests. Huh? O yan, click create. Yan, creating function. Success. So meron na tayong trigger. So ito yung HTTP trigger. Okay. This is our trigger. Okay. Code and test. Testingin na natin. Testingin natin. So this is the code. Yeah. So na-create siya ng sariling code. And the code was created using JavaScript notation. Okay. JavaScript notation. They will provide the code kagad. You don't need to program. No? So dito, ano ginagawa ng code? So magra-run siya ng HTTP request. Then ilalog niya. No? Meron siyang ilogger function. And then HTTP trigger function processed as request. And then it will give back feedback. He will say something like function this HTTP triggered function executed successfully. Then it will pass a name to a personalized response. Sasabihin niya, hello. Tapos dito lalagay yung name mo. Hello, Chris. This HTTP triggered a function executed successfully. Okay. So ito na. So sino yung test sa subject natin? So, kakopy natin yung URL. Dito, saan nakalagay URL? Get function URL. Yan. Nakita nyo, provided na yung URL. So this is the function I created. Copy, paste sa browser, run. And then, ayun, nag-return siya. So that's one count. Okay, sabi dito, this HTTP triggered function executed successfully. Pass a name. No? So if you want to pass a name, you can customize this one by adding variable ampersand name. No? I want to display your actual name. Let's say Chris. Yeah. Okay? So ito yung papas niya. Okay? So execute ko ulit. Okay? Sabi dito, hello Chris. This HTTP triggered function executed successfully. Sa pan-trigger, hello Chris, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Sa pan-trigger, okay? So na-trigger na yung HTTP request natin. Dito saan yung vini-visit niya? This site. This site. Yan. Okay? So, nakailan na tayo? Nakatatlo, di ba? Tatlo. So let's go back. Punta tayo sa test run. Sorry. Punta tayo sa monitor. Ayun, na-detect niya we have executed once, na result code is good 200, duration 24 millisecond. Refresh lang natin to. Ay, may refresh sa baba na. Tingnan natin. So we can monitor from here. Yan. So test run ulit. Balik tayo dito kasi hindi ko pala kinlik yung test run. Testingin natin tong function. Test run. Okay, so we're gonna do a posting HTTP request. Run. Yeah, so running dito. So you have a live console. Malalaman natin kung what's happening here. Connected. Welcome, you are now connected to the streaming service. Default time is 2 hours. Change time, blah, blah, blah. So ito na. Ito na yung user. Let's say for example, in-access niya. Okay, so punta kayo dun sa web. Ayun, no? Makikita nyo. He executed the function. Succeeded. Okay, so that's 1. Sapa. Paste ko dito. 2. Okay, welcome. Succeeded. Ayun, pangalawa. Okay. So there's a first request, second request. Sapa. So kailangan magkaroon ng third request kasi pangatlo ito. Third request. So ilan na? 3 na, di ba? So dito, you will find out. You will see on the fly what's happening kung ilan nag-access. Then you don't have to monitor this one every now and then. You can just go to monitor, coffee muna kayo, then we come back. Now you can be able to tell how many successful attempt it made. No? So dito, refresh natin. Yan. So, for the last 30 days, isa pa lang yung detect niya. So, keep on refreshing. Ayun, dami na. Okay. Remember yung last 3 natin, ito yun. Kasi I can tell by the time, 5:41, blah, 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 blah. 5:41. Tapos itong, remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Siguro may 9 pa doon. Ayan, accurate siya. Okay? So, accurate siya na nag-a-access na naglalags. Okay na, nag-alarm na. Remember kanina yung Alexa app natin, no? Cognitive siya. So, we need to stop the alarm. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Uy, ayaw. Ayan. Okay na, nag-login ako. Hindi to login muna. Okay, so refresh. Tingnan natin ha. Ay, kulit ng alarm ko. Alexa, stop. Okay, ayan. So, successful. Any question? Any question? I hope na love nyo, no? I hope na love nyo kasi it will make more sense kung anong function. Kasi ibang student, di naintindihan ba yung function, diba? So, I have demonstrated to you an actual Azure function. Nakapag-create tayo, na-hit natin na 9 request. And on the fly, we were able to see saan galing yung request. No? Na-detect natin. Okay, sa monitor. Code test. Sa test run, ni-run ko, di ba? Lumabas dito. Okay. Okay. Isa pa uli. Trigger. Okay. Na-trigger siya. Ayun. As well as it kept a log in monitoring. In monitor blades. Na? Ayan. Nandiyan lahat. So at the end of the day, you will find out ilan ba nag-visit sa website ko? 8. Okay, ganun na. Okay? Any question? Any question? Kung wala na, I'm gonna move on. So that's module 3. Okay, we discussed IoT. We discussed big data. No? We developed our own function and we were able to monitor what the function does. Okay. Any questions? Wala nang question. I'm gonna stop the recording.